Hello everyone, welcome to CommerceNet Scholars. I hope you all are perfectly fit and fine and you are being regular with the studies. In today's video, the topic that we'll be discussing is span of control, which is also referred to as the span of management. Today we'll understand that what is the meaning of span of control or span of management. At the same time, what are the different factors that affect it, and also what are the different types of span of management or span of control. All these we'll discuss in today's video, but before starting, as you all know, a reminder for you all, watch the video till the end so that you understand. If you really like the video, do give it a like, share it with your friends as much as possible, and most important of all, subscribe the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Let's proceed with the topic, that is span of management or span of control. Let's first understand the meaning of it. Span of management means the number of people managed effectively by a single officer in an organization. So in simple terms, if I want you to understand what span of management is, in simple terms it means the number of people, the number of employees or the number of subordinates that are working under you. In case you are a manager in the organization, the number of people that are responsible to report to you, that are there to take orders from you, will be constituting your span of management. Then if in case you are a team leader for a particular group, the number of members you have under you will be your span of management or span of control. Basically the number of people or the number of subordinates that you are managing or controlling in an organization. Normally the members exercising span of control are decreased at the top level management and increased at the bottom level management. Ideal number of subordinates is 4 in case of higher level management and 8 to 12 in bottom level management. So generally, if you have a view of how the organization structure is designed, which we have already discussed in our live classes, you must be very clear about it that the top level management comprises of less number of people, because if we talk about the top level managers, they generally do not have the direct dealing with the employees of the organization. The direct dealing is either done by the middle level managers or the lower level managers. So generally, if we talk about the number of people who are there at the top level manager, it's comparatively lesser, while the managers at the middle or lower level are comparatively more, because they have to deal with the employees which are very, very large in number, and hence the groups of employees are divided accordingly as per the number of managers in the organization. So this was all about the meaning of span of management or span of control. Now let's understand the different factors that affect it. First is the capacity of the superior. If we talk about the capacity of the superior, we are talking about the managers that are going to control the employees at different levels. Now, what is the capacity of the superior? What are the different tasks the person has to perform? All that has to be kept in mind, and accordingly the subordinates are going to be assigned. Second factor that we have is the capacity of the subordinates. That means a particular employee, how well can it perform, and what are its special you can say expertise or the knowledge that it or the different skills he or she has to perform a particular task. Accordingly he will be assigned a superior. Next is the nature of work. Obviously, when we are talking about designing the organization structure, we are also talking about dividing the departments as per the specialization. So it's but obvious that these superiors will be decided first, that which manager has to be appointed what work. Accordingly, the employees who excel in that particular field will be assigned to him, and then the nature of work will be analyzed, that what kind of work they have to perform. Next is degree of decentralization. That means decentralization is what? The decision making power is distributed at the different levels of the management. So what is the degree at which this decentralization has been granted? What are the basic decisions that have to be decentralized has to be decided. Next is planning. But obvious planning is important for each and every task that we are performing in the organization. Next is use of staff assistance. The staff that you have in the organization, we are not just talking here about the employees or in the organization, but we are also talking about the helpers or the assistants that we have in the organization. Now, how are they going to help you? How are you going to use them? That will also define the span of management or span of control. Next is supervision from others. it's but obvious that you are being supervised by your immediate boss and your immediate boss is being supervised by his immediate boss. So this is entirely a chain that is being formed in the organization wherein the supervision work is done. And the last that we have is the communication technique. The communication channel that has to be followed will also determine the span of management or the span of control in the organization. Coming to the last topic for today, the different types that we have for span of management. So talking about the types, we have two basic types, that is the wide span and the narrow span. Talking about wide span, we'll have a flat structure. I'll explain you right now what it is all about. And talking about the narrow span, we'll have a tall structure. This you have to keep in mind. Wide span, flat structure, narrow span, tall structure. Now what wide span and narrow span are, let's understand. Whenever we are talking about more number of subordinates working under a superior, that means in case you are a superior and say for example you have around 50 or 60 people under you, you are working as you are covering a wide span of management in the organization in comparison to a similar manager who is having merely 10 or 20 people under him. So that will be referred to as the narrow span of management. So herein, if we talk about more number of subordinates, we'll have the wide span, but when we talk about the less number of subordinates, we'll have the narrow span. Now what this flat structure and tall structure is, let's understand. Flat structure means we have you can say less levels of management in the organization. That means you either have just top level or middle level managers, or you directly have the dealing between the top level managers and the employees in the organization. Wherein if we talk about tall structure, we have you can say more number of levels in the organization. That means top, middle and lower level managers, right? So this is the basic difference between the two. Flat structure will have lesser levels, right? Flat structure will have lesser levels, while tall structure will have more levels, right? So this you can understand that when we are talking about narrow span, we are talking about having less number of subordinates under us. It simply means that the levels are divided so much that at each and every level the number of employees are being distributed equally. But when we have lesser levels, we have just two levels in the organization, say for example, so whatever number of subordinates we'll be controlling in the organization will be obviously more. So that will be constituting your wide span of management. I hope this is very clear to you all. Any doubts you can mention down in the comment section below. And again a reminder, if you haven't subscribed the channel yet, subscribe it for more updates. That's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.